Hi folks, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to repair a crack in the bumper like this. Now the proper way to do it is use a machine like this, and basically you put little staples behind it and it sort of bridges the gap. They're expensive, most home users are not going to be able to afford that, and there are other methods. You can get plastic welding. Some people even try and sort of use a soldering iron and sort of get through all the crack and sort of join it together, fiberglass at the back, all sorts. You know, inevitably they always crack. What I'm going to show you today will actually make this strong, it's cheap, you know, and it will last a lifetime. First thing we need to do is flatten it down. You see here, it's been like it for a while. You know, the edges don't line up. You know, it's all sort of raised there. So basically what we want to do is start off and just get it as flat as we can, get all the cracks to line up. Easiest way to do it, just going to use a little screwdriver and just prise it until everything goes where it should do. Sometimes you'll need a little bit of heat, but I think I should be right with this one. He says. There we go. Don't worry too much about marring it out, because you're going to deal with that, or we will deal with that in a little while. We just want it to lay as flat as possible at the minute. There you go. As you can see, I've got it a lot closer. I'm not too worried about it being perfect at this stage. We'll address it in a minute. Just wanted it so it wasn't too far overlapping here. You know, I'm not even worried about this marring. We'll deal with it as and when. Now what I want to do is make a little plate. I've gone ahead and sort of made one already. It just doesn't have to be anything special, it just follows the shape of the bumper so you can get it tucked in. This particular bumper's got some foaming, so you want to make sure it's delaminated. If you haven't got anything there, don't worry about it obviously. So all I'm going to do is literally just feed that up there using reinforcing pigments. Watch your fingers. You want to get it so it's no longer protruding. There you go. So the metal's right up behind there, and then we're pretty much in. It still doesn't line up there, but again we'll deal with it slowly, little step by sort of bit as we go. Now what I want to do is I'm going to use these rivets. Now these are countersunk rivets. If you look at them against the standard one, there's like a countersunk screw. So basically the idea is we're bridging the gap. I'm going to put these rivets in. You know, I'm going to start off here, so then we've got that right. Then we can adjust this and drill a couple of holes, and then that'll all sandwich in. So I'm just going to start this side. You know, I know roughly where the plate is. You know, try and get one in this bit, and then that bit there. Flat. I'm not worried about holding it together at the minute. I'm just putting these in the holes so it stays lined up, because when I move the bumper to try and get this lined up, it is likely to try and wander. Obviously I still haven't even done the countersunk yet. So now it's just a method of working out where it went. So it needs to come up and try and clamp that. As I say, it's just trial and error of working out where it wants to go, where you can clamp it so it doesn't move. It's not too bad. So Now what we need to do is just retrieve the plate. This can be the challenging bit, especially if you've got to knock it up. Right, there's the plate, you know, with all the holes in it, you know, all sort of lines up with that. I just want to clean all the swarf up, clean the edges up, make sure it's not too sharp. Just put some extra primer on it to stop it rusting. While I'm waiting for the primer to dry, I'm going to get some Jaffa cakes and a cup of tea.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Right, got the plate all primed, absolutely nothing special, you know, just protecting it to stop it going rusty. Now we're going to shove it back up the hole and get it riveted in. Just put it the right way. Literally just using the screwdriver to line the holes up. Bring them all up. Right. Now we've got the plate roughly lined up. It's still going to want a little bit of tweaking as we put the rivets in, you know, because at the minute it's just moving and moving and moving and moving. But now we've got it roughly lined up, you know, we can countersink the holes. Don't want to do it beforehand because you countersink it, then trying to line it up, you're just going to mar everything up. So just using standard countersink that you would for any like wood screw or something like that. Just go through them. We'll start with this top one. And work my way down. You can see that where I couldn't quite clamp it properly, there's still a little wee gap in here, but I've got it pretty much flush at the bottom, and then, you know, all of the, it's all countersunk. Now what we want to do is chase all of the cracks out. As you can see, you know, just took it down a little bit. It's probably, I don't know, it's about that much. Just put a little groove in there and then feathered the edges. Now what I want to do is I want to clean the paint up a little bit, and then we'll put some fiberglass in. Just keyed it up so we've got a nice clean surface, bit of the grease up, and then some fiberglass. With fiberglass, always want to work it around before you smooth it out. Make sure it's stuck to absolutely everything. Because of the strands in it, you quite easily get a little air pocket and it just doesn't go in. You see that, just going in order. It's not like filler where you want to skim it, and you want to make sure it's well in. Get in all of the little nooks and crannies. then you can smooth it out. Using fiberglass is actually quite important on this, and because we haven't glued the plate onto the back, although it's riveted and it won't move, because of the crack, there will still be some slight flexes, and just filler will over time eventually crack with vibrations and stuff like that. So putting the fiberglass on first, then taking it all the way back, you know, it's going to bridge that gap a little bit more and then make it a completely seamless repair. So I'm going to let this set up for an hour or so. I'll come back and then we'll knock all this back, get some filler in it. It's been a couple of hours, this is all now sort of nice and cured off. I'm going to sort of just take it back so then we can put a skim of filler over it. Whenever you're dealing with fiberglass, always make sure you wear a respirator. So yeah, I've took it down, you can sort of see through it, but it's all there. Now if you look, there's a couple of high spots. There's one here, and then there's this little kink here. So we're just going to get them out with the heat gun. Literally just sort of manipulate it back, and then we can give it a skim of filler. Yeah, just heat gun, gently heat it up. There we go, simple as that. We'll give it another little bit of a sand around here, just because where it was risen there was a little bit of fiberglass, so just give it another little sand, blow it off, degrease it, skim of filler. As you see, when you're sort of blowing off the fiberglass, you want to try and sort of get it right in. I mean, I was literally sort of holding it, hovering over it, because there's like tiny little pinholes that get dust in. But you really want to sort of make sure you get all of that out. I'm not the best at filler work, so I'm not going to try and give you any hints or tips or anything else, other than the fact that try and get it as smooth as you can. You can always put more on. The last thing you want to be doing is spending 3 years sanding it back. So just try and get it as smooth as you can. Go over on the edges a little bit more. Like you see here, sort of come around the edge, sort of build that up, the same as around here. I know I'm going to end up needing a little bit more in here, but I might get away with it. We'll see how it goes. So I'll let that cure off, and yeah, I'll come back and sand it. Right, that's all cured off. So now we're going to start sanding it down. We'll start with some 80 grit, and then we'll take the top off, get a rough shape into it, and we're going to go up to 180, and then we'll finish it in 320 and give it a little bit of a primer. You don't want to go too far, you just want to get sort of the tops down, really, get a rough shape into it. Now you can concentrate on 180. So I'm getting into the edges now. Down to 320. That's it. I'm just going to spray it in a little bit of extra primer for now, just so I can sort of show you, it's done properly. I will be sanding the entire bumper down, 2-pack primer in it, and then letting it set for a good couple of weeks before blocking it down and painting it. But you can see the repair. There you go, that's it. Well, that's it for this video. Nice, quick, simple repair. As you can see, the crack's gone. It's not complicated, it just takes a little bit of thought, same as everything else. If you like what I'm doing here, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. When you do subscribe to the channel, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're informed of every time I update a new video. You can also follow my day-to-day stuff on Facebook and Instagram. I'm on Twitter a little bit, but not that much. Please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does sort of help. It is just me here, just pottering around with old cars. Yeah, see you next time. Bye.